Today I'm going to share a little bit about the problems that our customers are facing and the way that we solve some of those problems. So most of you know that sourcing raw materials is pretty challenging. There's a lot of complexity involved in putting all those specs out there and finding the right suppliers across the world. For the half of you in this audience that work at manufacturing companies, you'll recognize this graph. Manufacturing input prices are constantly fluctuating, right? Prices are always increasing or decreasing. There are new entrants in the market. It's really hard to keep track of all of those changes over long periods of time. And more importantly, most teams don't have the capacity to keep track of all of those different changes and make sure that they're reacting to them in real time. Why is that? Well, there's just not enough hands and not enough time in the day. It's because supplier discovery is actually quite challenging in this space, right? There's an infinite permutation of specs out there in the world, tons of different suppliers and tons of different options constantly entering and leaving the market. And what I always say is that this is not a people problem, this is a data problem. Once you figure out who those different options are, qualifying those suppliers is pretty challenging as well, right? There's not really an easy way to go and validate all the information that you're getting. That's where a company like Valdera comes into the picture. We enable our buyers to upload their specifications into our platform. We enable them to get matched to the right suppliers and the right specifications that are available across the world. I'll share a little bit more about how that works in a second. We give you data visualization tools to enable you to actually compare those apples to apples, so we normalize that data so you're actually looking at two things that are comparable. And we help you onboard those suppliers and work with them, storing all your information in one place before they enter all the other systems that you use at your company. So what makes us different? Our AI actually works. So a lot of you are familiar with LLMs, Gen AI. We use those products too, but we layer in our own ML models, we layer in our own data, our own proprietary validation mechanisms to make sure that the answer that you're getting is actually real and valuable. That's something that an LLM can't do on its own. So what are the results that our customers are seeing? Well, today we have over 400,000 suppliers in our database. We've mapped over 1.7 million cast numbers. And most of our buyers are seeing that their requests are typically routed to more than 100 suppliers for each request. On average, they're seeing about 15 quotes come back for each of those, and they're seeing on average about 14% in savings. If you want to learn a little bit more about our business and how our technology works, we would love if you stop by our booth. We're booth number 6. We're by the coffee in the back of the hall next door. So please come and say hello and learn more about what we're doing.